This grind, you always stress, so I work harder than the rest. That always said to do my best.
I don't ever doubt myself. I can count on no one else, and I do not need your help. I was told to show, not tell. I don't ever doubt myself. I can count on no one else, and I do not need your help. I was told to show, not tell. So watch me.
We'll get back to that clip and analyze Ninja's play in a moment, but first, I want to talk more about how to stay calm when you're playing Fortnite. In the beginning, it's very tough to get wins because you kind of get shaky and anxious, and it could really cause problems with your play. And this could also happen even after you've played for a while and you're in a tournament, the same thing can happen. So we're going to talk about how to go ahead and basically fix that, ways to hack that in your mind, so you can go ahead and play calm, cool, and collective and focus while you're playing some high pressure situations in the game. The game is very fast paced now, and people are just getting so good at the game. Anyone can take out anyone in certain situations, so you really have to go ahead and focus the most you can when playing this game right now. To get calm and collective, it took me a while being new to this game and also being new to shooters. It took me a very long time to get my first win. My first win was actually with a squad, and I was shaking so much. I was like falling off the side of the mountain. I was bad. But I was so excited that I got my first win that it made the next win not quite as crazy, and then the next win a little better, and then the next win it just kept getting better to the point where I didn't really get worried when I was in squads. But then I started getting worried when I was in solos. After a while you win some solos, then you stop going through and getting worried there. But what if you can't win yet and you do really good and then you get all shaky and you just get too anxious and miss easy shots because you're so nervous and shaking? Well, there's different ways to take care of that. One of the best ways to go ahead and resolve this issue is just keep playing. But that's pretty obvious and everyone says that. So I'll go over this briefly and then I'll go over a better situation. You want to keep playing. You want to get better at the game. The more you play, the better you get, the more comfortable you feel. Your muscle memory gets used to playing and you're just going to do better at the game. You're going to worry less because you're like, oh, I've been in this situation 5 times so far, and you don't have to think about it. Your brain just does it. That's how it works, because after your brain does something so many times, it just knows to do that when it's working. So you just have to kind of get that moving, and then once you get that moving, it's just going to keep going. Everyone says, 10,000 hours to go ahead and master something. Well, yeah, that'll work. If you do 10,000 hours of something, you will become amazing at it, but that is a lot of hours, and we don't all have that many hours. So let's go ahead and try to beat this ahead of time. So what I say is, when you're playing Fortnite, you want to go ahead and find a trigger that kind of congratulates you in some way. We'll go ahead and do it with my example here. So say I just go ahead and get into a game and my partner's gone and it's just me, and a duo comes up and I take them both out. I played really good. That was awesome. I need to go ahead and tell myself that was awesome by doing something. What I'll do is I'll take like a deep breath and let it out, like, wow, that was awesome. Nice work. But I will still stay focused in the game while I'm doing it, because I don't want to just get sniped by someone else while I'm doing that. So you got to kind of pay attention at the same time. So every time you do something awesome or good for like the first week or say 10 days, do that. Take a deep breath, let it out. Pat yourself on the back, say nice work, something, and just do the exact same thing every time. So after you've done it for, 7 to 10 days, if you're doing it a lot, if not maybe 2 weeks, then you should feel confident with that trigger. And then what you do is, when you get into a situation where you're going to start worrying, like you're top 2 and the guy's got high ground, take your deep breath, let it out. Of course, keep staying focused on the game, but do that, because you're going to associate that with doing well and taking out people and winning, basically. So when you do that, your brain's just going to get in that mode like, let's do this. And you'll stay focused and you won't be as worried. Take a breath.
He's probably getting. Oh, he's done.
Yes! Yes!
Oh!
What's up? Now, when we get into people like Ninja, you can see his focus is amazing. It's just laser focus. He's been doing this for like 10 years. 10,000 hours. He's got over 20,000 hours in Fortnite, according to him. As you know, I am a fan, so I watch him a lot. And that's why it's best for me to analyze him, because I've watched his gameplay a lot. And I've seen him clutch up over and over and over and over again. And each time I'm like, how does he do it? It's because he doesn't even get nervous because he plays so much. But you're going to also say, well, you know, he was good right out of the gate of Fortnite. Yes, he was, because he was playing other games. So they were similar to Fortnite. So he learned a lot of that. And then he just had to get good at the extra stuff in Fortnite, like building. But he already had that confidence because he was so good in those other games. So that's why he wasn't getting shaky. But what he does different is he doesn't say, you know, okay, I'm confident. I'm going to crush this guy. Let's W key him. I mean, sometimes that works for people, but his aspect's a little different. What he says is, yes, I'm confident. I'm going to win, but I'm going to outplay this guy. What would I do in his shoes? Because you know the sound isn't perfect in this game. You can't always hear where people are. You have to use that, get the best idea where he's at, and then say, what would I do if I was him? And then you got to come back into your head and say, what can I do to counteract that? And you'll see him make an edit, shoot, fix that edit, and then go out of the box, go all the way around, shoot him there, go up, shoot him from the top, go down, shoot him from the bottom. He's not predictable. And that's because he's not thinking, oh my goodness, I'm worried I'm going to win. He's thinking, what is this guy going to do? And how can I cut him off from what he wants to do and take him down? So that's the different levels. And as you go ahead and learn this, you know, you take the deep breaths, you'll get easier at getting wins. And then once you get the wins, then you need to start doing the ninja style, which is the focus, the leveling up. You know, if you start getting really good, say you get as good as Ninja, then you're going to be at the point where, okay, your mindset's going to change. It's now going to go from, he's going to think I'm doing this. So because he's thinking I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this instead. Because I'm going to do that, he's going to go around this way, and I'll go around that way and get him that way. That's how a player starts shining. Basically out-leveling your opponents. It's kind of like poker. You know, if I do this, he's going to do that. So because he's going to do that, I'm going to do this. And you just keep leveling up. Now, that's very high gameplay. And we're not at that point. At least, I'm not. Maybe you are. I hope you are. I hope this video helps. Because it takes a while to go ahead and get those wins if you're not getting them. And if you are getting them, but you're still getting nervous, or if you're going to tournaments and you're getting nervous, do that deep breath. You know, do it also when you sit down. After your trigger, after a week or two of using the trigger, do it when you sit down the first time to play. Every time. Then when you get to a tournament, you sit down, you get ready, you do that deep breath, boom. You're back in the zone, and you're ready to go ahead and slay out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to try something a little different because I like to go off subject. I like to do what other people aren't doing. And I think this is an important thing to talk about. There's also times when people go ahead and rage and they get very upset. And yeah, that happens to me too, more lately than it did in the past. But I do have a video on how to counteract that. And it does work when you follow the steps. So I'm going to go ahead and put it up here. So if you want to check that out, I really recommend it if you feel that you rage at all. It's a really good video. No! What? Yes!